Hello everyone. In this lecture we will talk about fourth method of a non-gel based proteomics approach, and that is isobaric tags for relative and absolute quantification, in short iTRAQ. So iTRAQ is a tag, is called isobaric tag for relative and absolute quantification, and this tag of two types, a 4-plex tag and 8-plex tag. That simply means you can compare 4 different samples simultaneously or 8 different proteomic samples simultaneously. And this tag binds to amino group of present in the side chain of lysine amino acid or the N-terminal amino group in proteins and peptides. And each sample, proteomic sample, is digested before tagging with a specific iTRAQ tag. So in case of a 4-plex tag, these are isobaric tags. So you have 3 groups, one reporter group which varies from 114 to 117 Dalton, means there are 4 possibilities. A reporter group may be of 114 Dalton, 15 Dalton, 116 or 117 Dalton. A balancer group, the balancer group has variation in molecular weight from 28 to 31 Dalton. And reporter peptide group, peptide-reactive group. Peptide-reactive group is N-hydroxysuccinimide, NHS. This NHS is the group which react with amino group of protein, peptides and lysine side chains. The reporter group is charged, means it can be detected in MS after fragmentation. Balancer group is neutral, so that doesn't get detected and removed from the MS during analysis. When you put mass of a reporter group and balancer group together, that is isobaric. Isobaric means it will have a mass of 114 Dalton. So that is achieved by combination of a reporter group and balancer group. For example, if you are using reporter group for 114 Dalton, you will use balancer group of 31 Dalton. So the total mass will be 145 Dalton. Similarly, if you are using a reporter group of 117 Dalton, the balancer will be of 28 Dalton. So the total mass will be isobaric of 114 Dalton. For a iTRAQ 4-plex reagent, you will have these 4 combinations: 114 reporter group, 31 balancer group, or if a reporter group is of 115 Dalton, you will use a 30 Dalton balancer group, and so on. So the total mass will be 145 Dalton. Similarly, in 8-plex iTRAQ reagent, this mass of reporter group varies from 113 to 121, and the mass of balancer group varies from 192 Dalton to 184 Dalton. So the total mass of the reporter and balancer is again the constant isobaric, and that will be 305 in case of 8-plex reagent. Using 4-plex reagent, simultaneously 4 proteomic samples can be analyzed. Using 8-plex reagent, 8 different samples can be analyzed. Now let's take an example of using a 4-plex tagging reaction. So remember, here the objective here is to do differential expression proteomics, means you have 4 different samples, a tissue in 4 different states, and you want to compare proteins from all the 4 tissues simultaneously. You want to see which protein is overexpressed in which state of the sample. So for example, there are 4 samples, you call them A, B, C, D, and for this moment just think about a single protein which is present in all the 4 samples, and that protein is X. Now this protein is fragmented using protease, and you get many peptides. You ignore all the peptides, just remember one peptide which is shown here in different color, and the peptide coming from sample A, for example, is in blue color, sample D is in magenta color, and so on. So these four different colors represent origin of the peptide, right? The peptide is same because it's coming from the same protein present in all the 4 samples, and you have tagged them with different iTRAQ. For example, sample A is tagged with 114 iTRAQ reagent. In that case, 31 will be the balancer group. So the total mass remains same in all the 4 tags. Similarly, likewise, the sample D, the peptide from sample D is tagged with 117 iTRAQ reagent, 28 balancer group here. So the total mass of all the tags is 145 here. So now you imagine this is the same peptide coming from the same protein, but the origin of the protein is different. One is coming from sample A, other one B, C and D. So you mix them together. After mixing them together, the mass of the entire tag along with the peptide would be same. Remember, because this mass, this tag, iTRAQ tag is isobaric in nature, means it will have same mass of 145 Dalton, and the peptide is also same, coming from different sample, because it's a part of the same protein which is present in all 4 samples, right? So when you do MS, you will get only a single peak in MS, because in MS you get to know about molecular weight of the compound analyte. Here the peptide is same, and this tag, iTRAQ tag, is isobaric in nature. So that's why you will get a single peak in mass spectroscopy. And this single peak is coming from contribution from these 4 different tagged peptides which are coming from the same protein, right? So now this peak can be sent for MS for fragmentation before analyzing in second analyzer in MS tandem mass spectroscopy. So when you do fragmentation of this peak, means these are the peptide and tag. When you do fragmentation, this peptide break into pieces. You get many ions are produced here, and same time the reporter group is also removed from the iTRAQ tag, and the balancer is also removed. Balancer being neutral is not detected in the MS, whereas the reporter group is charged, so you detect in second analyzer. So that's why you get 4 peaks here, a peak corresponding to 114 Dalton, another 115, 116 and 117 Dalton. So these 4 peaks are detected in MS. So what do you understand from there? You look at the peak height. The peak height of all those peaks are not same, they're different, and the peak height represent the relative concentration of the tag. So you remember the 114 tag was used to tag sample A. That simply means this peak of the reporter is coming from sample A, 115 peak is coming from sample B, 116 peak is coming from sample C, and 117 peak is coming from sample D. So that's how you know that this peptide is present in all the 4 samples A, B, C and D, but the concentration of the peptide varies, and that's why the reporter group concentration also varying here. For example, 116 reporter group means you tagged with the sample C. So sample C has lowest concentration of this peptide that you can infer from the reporter group peaks. Similarly, 114 and 115 means sample A and B, they have almost similar concentration of this peptide, right? So now from here you can infer that this particular peptide is overexpressed in A, B, C or D, whichever sample. So that information you gain from here, and after that your objective would be to know which peptide that is. So when you get the mass spectra in tandem mass spectroscopy, this is only at the reporter region. In reporter region you detect the reporter groups being separated from the iTRAQ tag. But beside this, because you have the peptide also, you get many peaks of the peptide fragments as well. And this peptide fragment peaks is used to deduce sequence of the peptide. So once you have sequence of the peptide, you can do similarity search to know that this peptide is coming from which protein has this peptide in the sequence, and that's how you identify that this protein is present in A, B and D sample in high concentration, whereas in C sample it's present in less concentration. So this is how you look at the expression you look at the expression of protein in the different samples using 4-plex tag. But this is the situation only when you are thinking it is a hypothetical situation where we are considering only single protein in the sample. But it does not happen, because every sample, if you talk about proteome is very large. You have 10,000s of proteins. So let's take another example of using 4-plex tagging. So there are 4 samples, A, B, C and D. You repeat the proteomics extraction procedure likewise we have done earlier also many times. You extract all the proteins simultaneously from all different 4 samples, and you do digestion or using proteases. So proteins are converted into fragments, peptide fragments. Now these peptide fragments, they are tagged with different iTRAQ tag. For example, sample A tagged with iTRAQ 114. Sample B peptides are tagged with iTRAQ 115. Sample C tagged with 116 and sample D tagged with 117 iTRAQ reagent. And after tagging, you mix them together. They are mixed, all the peptides are mixed after tagging, and that mixture is put for purification, separation. The peptides are separated using HPLC column and then sent for MSMS. So MSMS means the tandem mass spectroscopy, and you need to remember that there are 2 analyzers here. In the first analyzer, when you detect peaks, you will get a very complex spectra, something like this in MS1. So many peptides, because you remember one proteomic sample contains 10,000s of proteins, and when you hydrolyze them, you get even large number of peptides from a single molecule of the protein. So you can imagine the spectra is going to be very, very complex here. And each peak represent a single peptide which is coming from all the 4 samples, if it is present in all the 4 samples. So now from this MS1 spectra, a single peak is taken in fact to analysis in MSMS. So this peak means here is simply the ions. In mass spectroscopy you get ions. So these ions are further fragmented. And after fragmentation, for example, this is the peak, and always remember this peak is coming from contribution of peptide from all the 4 A, B, C, D samples, right? So this single peak is taken to fragmentation and analysis in MSMS. And in the reporter region, you see you get a very complex spectra from the single peak, because it has a peptide and iTRAQ reagents. So in the reporter region, you will get 4 peaks here. This is 114. 114 tag means the reporter group of 114 molecular weight simply means this is coming from sample A. 115 means sample B. 116 sample C. And 117 Dalton reporter is coming from sample D. So you know you look at the 4 peak and the area, you see the 117 peak has highest area. This area can be quantified, and this area of a peak represent concentration of the peptide, abundance of the peptide. So from here the quantification of peptide can be done. And you see in 117 reporter, which is coming from sample D, is having highest peak area. That simply means this peptide is overexpressed in sample D, or the protein from where the peptide has come after digestion is overexpressed in sample D, whereas it's less in A, B and C samples. So this is the information you get from here. Now your second objective would be to know which is this peptide. Which is this peptide is tagged by 117 iTRAQ reagent, and that is present in sample D. So along with these 4 peaks are basically in the reporter region only here. But beside the reporter region, you have more peaks in the spectra. Those more peaks are coming basically from fragmentation of the peptide portion. So this is the peptide. So these fragmented peptide ions, they are used to deduce amino acid sequence of the peptide, and once you know the sequence, from the sequence you can identify which protein it was part of, and that's how you conclude that this protein was present in high high concentration is sample D. Now you look at another example. So you have taken another peak from MS1 spectra and it's sent for fragmentation in MS-MS, and after fragmentation in the reporter region of mass spectra, what you are getting peak 415, 116 and 117. So out of 4 reporter group you detected only 115, 16 and 17. 114 reporter group is missing here. So that simply means because 114 iTRAQ was used to tag sample A, it simply means this peptide is not present in sample A, or this protein from where this peptide has come is not expressing in state A, sample A, and is present in high concentration in the D sample. That's how the peak height, the peak area represents here. So by using this iTRAQ data, you can look at the relative presence of a peptide or protein, and if some protein is missing in some sample, that also you can detect using this iTRAQ method. This method has several advantages, like it's high throughput. You can do multiplexing, or multiplexing means up to 8 samples simultaneously you can analyze. You can analyze proteomic profiling of 8 different samples simultaneously. It reduces experimental variability, high sensitivity and coverage. There is no amino acid bias like we have seen earlier. The ICAT was biased to cysteine amino acid, but here the labeling is extensive. In fact, there is a global labeling because you are labeling here amino groups of N-terminal peptides and lysine side chains. So that's why there is no bias and you don't miss any peptide here. Like in case of ICAT, you could miss the peptide where there is no cysteine present, but here that's not the case. High quality quantification. The quantification is absolute here, and you determine the real concentration of the peptide and protein. It has wide applicability, is suitable for wide range of complex biological samples, tissue lysate, cell line, body fluid, plasma, serum. Everything can be analyzed by iTRAQ technique. The only problem with this method is that it's very expensive, because the equipments used, they are very expensive, and the spectra you get is very complex. You require complex spatial algorithms to deal with the complex data.